Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Let's do an update on Chainlink. I'm gonna specifically cover a pattern that is appearing recurrently on many other coins. I'm talking about a head and shoulder with a potential target towards below $8. So I wanna discuss about that, whether I think is doable or not, levels that we need to hold, and how we can manage to invalidate this bearish scenario. Looking at the price action on the weekly, we can see that we have a pretty decent, healthy structure, right? So we can see that from the lows, we got into March 18 to highs of $22. Then the retracement to $8 did the trick to put a new high roughly at around $31. And the most recent price action has managed to put a higher low. So that is something together with the falling wedge that has already broken out, currently retesting the support of around $13. If we go into the daily time frame and we magnify this particular price action, you can see that along with what XRP, ADA and other coins are doing, it's forming a daily head and shoulder. This one in particular has the neckline around $13, and the technical target, we need to understand it, is roughly $7.65. Do I think that we're gonna achieve the technical target or not? I personally think that is very low likely. We have done a pretty decent retracement in here. We're talking about 67% already. The previous retracement was around 63%. We are still defending the previous lows, and we are in the contest of a breakout. Defending $13 or wiping the lows, going even into $12, slightly below, and reclaiming $13 is what I want to see personally when it comes to Link. And at that point, reclaiming $13 could bring back the idea of getting into 19. Looking at liquidity pools, we can see that we have a heavy area loaded around 12.5, that on the 3-month chart of the pools, we can see that could span even into the 11s around this area. Of course, that is less likely the lower we go because the pools are also declining in size. On the top end, we have levels of liquidity around $15, followed by 15.8 and 17.4. Those are a lot clearer if we use the liquidation map. We got 14, 15 and 15.6. Though consider that this is only looking at the 30-day, which is gonna give us liquidity pools that actually matter if you are trading in a lower time frame. We can do the same with the liquidation heat map and see that that 12 is quite heavy, and it could definitely cause that the head and shoulder on the daily time frame only produces the liquidity hand scenario. So just going in here into 12, we are allowed to even go halfway through towards the next level of support, which is 10, because that technically still is a higher low and is the perfect scenario to play accumulation and counter trade. Of course, manage your risk. That might completely fail, and if you don't manage your risk, that is absolutely on you. I'm gonna set some alerts in case we break below 12.76 to be more precise, and see if in this area, while we are doing the liquidations, we see some strength to start accumulating at those areas. Of course, this could fail, and you have to plan how you manage if we were to produce the technical target. That technical target, I think, is reserved only for Bitcoin really misbehaving. We're talking going to the low 90s or below 90s, then we can see a Link touching base once again in this area. Notice as well that the descending resistance before from the falling wedge is roughly around $9. So that could play as a very painful retest. In terms of news, we got some bullish news and some moderate ones. We got one at 7, 6 and 8 in a rank from 1 to 10. So the top one says that Olympus DAO adopts Chainlink CCIP to move OHM cross-chain. I've got no idea what is that. Let's try to understand how this impacts the price. Each new high-profile integration of Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol drives CCIP. I've got no idea, but this is qualified as 7 out of 10. You see that I'm perfectly okay with stepping into fundamentals, but I much rather trading charts. CEO Sergey Nazarov says US stablecoin rules will spark a wave of new assets. Chainlink is the only full stack solution. Interestingly, this gets only a 6 out of 10, and it says that the interview framed Chainlink as the rails for reserve attest cross-chain stablecoins, a multi-trillion-dollar addressable market. Regulatory tailwinds plus clear product market fit equals demand upside for Link. I still don't understand how this gets only a 6. To me, it sounds pretty bullish. And then we got the Wells scoop up, 438 million Link. That is considered something bullish, but it hasn't actually done anything yet to the price. As a final wrap up, I'm interested in Chainlink if we manage to get into the liquidations around $12 and if I see strength around those levels. So you're welcome to set up an alert on Chainlink and see how that goes. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.